Welcome. Today, we're diving into two important terms you might see on your credit report: charge-off and collection. Both can sound intimidating, but understanding the difference is crucial for managing your finances and credit health. Whether you're reviewing your credit report or dealing with debt, knowing what these terms mean will help you make informed decisions. In this video, we'll break down what a charge-off is, what a collection account means, how they affect your credit, and what you can do if you encounter them. Let's start by understanding the basics of each term before we move into the details. A charge-off happens when a creditor, like a bank or credit card company, decides that a debt is unlikely to be collected. This typically occurs after you've missed payments for several months, usually 6. The creditor then writes off the debt as a loss in their accounting books, but that doesn't mean you're off the hook. You still owe the money, and the charge-off will be reported to credit bureaus, which can significantly lower your credit score. It's a formal acknowledgement by the lender that they don't expect to receive payment, but the obligation remains. A collection account appears when a creditor sells or transfers your unpaid debt to a third-party collection agency. This usually happens after a charge-off, but not always. The collection agency then tries to recover the money from you. Collections are also reported to credit bureaus and can damage your credit score. The main difference is that now, instead of owing the original creditor, you owe the collection agency. Collections can involve aggressive attempts to contact you for payment, and they remain on your credit report for several years. Let's look at the typical timeline. First, you miss payments on a debt. After several months, the creditor may charge off the debt, marking it as unlikely to be collected. Next, the creditor might sell or transfer the debt to a collection agency. At this point, the collection agency takes over and begins contacting you for payment. Both the charge-off and the collection can appear on your credit report, sometimes for the same debt. Understanding this sequence helps you see how one event can lead to another. When a charge-off occurs, the creditor updates your account status to reflect that they don't expect to collect the debt. This is mainly an accounting move for the creditor, allowing them to claim a loss for tax purposes. However, for you, it means the account is now severely delinquent. The charge-off status will appear on your credit report and can stay there for up to 7 years. Even after a charge-off, the creditor may still try to collect the debt or sell it to a collection agency. Once a debt is in collections, a third-party agency is now responsible for collecting the money. These agencies often purchase the debt for a fraction of its value and then attempt to recover the full amount from you. Collection agencies may use phone calls, letters, or even legal action to get payment. Like charge-offs, collection accounts remain on your credit report for up to 7 years, but the impact on your credit score can be even more severe if the agency reports frequent missed payments. Both charge-offs and collections have a significant negative impact on your credit score. Lenders see these as signs of financial distress and may be less likely to approve you for new credit. The presence of either on your credit report can lower your score by dozens or even hundreds of points, depending on your overall credit history. The more recent the charge-off or collection, the greater the impact. Over time, the effect lessens, but the record remains visible for up to 7 years. Creditors charge off debts mainly for accounting and tax reasons. When a debt is unlikely to be paid, writing it off as a loss helps the creditor balance their books and potentially claim a tax deduction. However, this doesn't mean the debt disappears. The creditor may continue to pursue payment or sell the debt to a collection agency. For consumers, it's important to realize that a charge-off is not a cancellation of the debt, but a change in how the creditor manages it. Debts are sent to collection when the original creditor decides it's no longer worth their time or resources to pursue payment. Selling the debt to a collection agency allows the creditor to recover at least a portion of the money owed. The collection agency then takes over, often using more persistent methods to collect the debt. This transfer is a business decision for the creditor and a new challenge for the consumer, as collection agencies can be more aggressive in their tactics. The main difference between a charge-off and a collection is who owns the debt and who is trying to collect it. A charge-off means the original creditor still owns the debt, even though they've written it off as a loss. A collection means the debt has been transferred or sold to a third-party agency. Both are negative marks on your credit report, but they represent different stages in the debt recovery process. Understanding this distinction can help you know whom to contact if you want to resolve the debt. When a charge-off is reported to credit bureaus, it appears as a negative item on your credit report. The report will show the account as charged off and may include the amount owed. This status signals to future lenders that you failed to repay a debt as agreed. The charge-off will remain on your credit report for up to 7 years from the date of the first missed payment that led to the charge-off. It's important to check your credit report regularly to ensure the information is accurate. Collection accounts are also reported to credit bureaus as negative items. The report will list the collection agency as the new owner of the debt along with the amount owed and the date the account was placed in collections. Like charge-offs, collections stay on your credit report for up to 7 years. If you pay off a collection, it may be marked as paid collection, but the record itself does not disappear immediately. Monitoring your credit report helps you track these changes. If your account is charged off, you still owe the original creditor. They may continue to try to collect the debt or eventually sell it to a collection agency. If your account is in collections, you now owe the collection agency, not the original creditor. This distinction is important when you're trying to resolve the debt, as you'll need to contact the correct party to make payment arrangements or negotiate a settlement. Removing a charge-off from your credit report is difficult, but not impossible. If the information is inaccurate, you can dispute it with the credit bureaus. If the charge-off is valid, you may be able to negotiate with the creditor to update the status to paid charge-off after you settle the debt. However, the charge-off itself will typically remain on your report for up to 7 years, even if you pay it off. Collections can sometimes be removed from your credit report if they are reported in error. You can dispute the account with the credit bureaus if you believe it's inaccurate. If you pay off a collection, you can request the agency to remove the account as a goodwill gesture, but they are not required to do so. Paid collections will still appear on your report, but may be viewed more favorably by future lenders. Both charge-offs and collections remain on your credit report for up to 7 years from the date of the first missed payment that led to the negative status. This is true whether or not you pay the debt. Over time, the impact on your credit score lessens, but lenders can still see the record. It's important to address these accounts as soon as possible to begin repairing your credit. If you pay a charge-off, the account status may be updated to paid charge-off or settled charge-off on your credit report. While this doesn't remove the negative mark, it does show future lenders that you took responsibility for the debt. Paying off a charge-off can also stop further collection efforts and may help you qualify for new credit in the future. Paying a collection account can update its status to paid collection on your credit report. This may not remove the account, but it can improve your chances with lenders who look more favorably on paid debts. Some newer credit scoring models ignore paid collections, so paying off the debt could help your score depending on which model a lender uses. Always ask for written confirmation when you pay a collection. If you have a charge-off, you can sometimes negotiate with the original creditor to settle the debt for less than the full amount owed. In some cases, you can ask them to update the account as paid in full or settled after payment. While this won't remove the charge-off, it can look better to future lenders. Always get any agreement in writing before making a payment. When dealing with a collection agency, you may be able to negotiate a settlement for less than the full amount. Some agencies will agree to mark the account as paid in full or settled after payment. You can also request a pay for delete agreement, where the agency removes the account from your credit report after payment, though this is not guaranteed. Always confirm any agreement in writing. Both charge-offs and collections can lead to legal action if the creditor or collection agency decides to sue for the unpaid debt. If a lawsuit is filed and a judgment is entered against you, it can result in wage, garnishment, or bank account levies. It's important to respond to any legal notices and seek legal advice if you're facing a lawsuit over a charged-off or collection account. Every state has a statute of limitations on how long a creditor or collection agency can sue you for a debt. This period varies by state and type of debt, but once it expires, you can no longer be legally forced to pay through the courts. However, the debt can still appear on your credit report, and collection agencies may still attempt to collect. Knowing your state's laws can help you understand your rights. You can check your credit report for free once a year from each of the major credit bureaus. Reviewing your report helps you spot charge-offs, collections, and other negative items. If you find errors, you can dispute them directly with the credit bureau. Regularly checking your credit report is a key step in maintaining your financial health and catching problems early. If you find a charge-off or collection on your credit report that you believe is inaccurate, you have the right to dispute it. Submit your dispute in writing to the credit bureau, providing any supporting documentation. The bureau must investigate and respond, typically within 30 days. If the information is found to be incorrect, it will be removed from your report. Recovering from a charge-off takes time, but it's possible. Start by paying off outstanding debts, making all future payments on time, and keeping your credit card balances low. Over time, positive credit behavior will help offset the negative impact of a charge-off. Consider using secured credit cards or becoming an authorized user on someone else's account to rebuild your credit history. After a collection account, focus on rebuilding your credit by paying all bills on time, reducing debt, and avoiding new collections. Paying off the collection and other debts can help, especially with newer credit scoring models. Over time, your credit score will improve as positive information replaces the negative. Patience and consistent good habits are key. If you're struggling with charge-offs or collections, consider seeking help from a reputable credit counseling agency. These organizations can help you create a budget, negotiate with creditors, and develop a plan to pay off debt. Credit counseling can also provide education and support as you work to rebuild your credit and avoid future problems. Debt settlement involves negotiating with creditors or collection agencies to pay less than the full amount owed. While this can help you resolve debts, it may still result in a negative mark on your credit report, such as settled for less than full balance. Be cautious with debt settlement companies and always get any agreement in writing before making payments. Filing for bankruptcy can discharge certain debts, including those that have been charged off or sent to collections. However, bankruptcy is a serious decision with long-term consequences for your credit. It should be considered only after exploring other options. Bankruptcy will remain on your credit report for up to 10 years, but it can provide a fresh start if you're overwhelmed by debt. If you file for bankruptcy, collection agencies must stop attempting to collect on debts included in the bankruptcy. The bankruptcy will be reported on your credit report, and the collection accounts may be marked as included in bankruptcy. This can help you get relief from aggressive collection efforts, but the impact on your credit will be significant and long-lasting. There are several myths about charge-offs. Some people believe that a charge-off means you no longer owe the debt, but this isn't true. Others think paying a charge-off will remove it from your credit report, but it will usually remain for 7 years. Understanding the facts can help you make better decisions and avoid costly mistakes when dealing with charge-offs. A common myth is that paying a collection will instantly boost your credit score. While paying off collections is a good step, the account will still appear on your report for up to 7 years. Some believe that ignoring collections will make them go away, but this can lead to legal action. It's important to address collections promptly and understand how they affect your credit. Let's say you have a credit card with a $1,000 balance and you stop making payments. After 6 months, the credit card company charges off the debt, marking it as a loss. You still owe the $1,000, and the charge-off appears on your credit report. The creditor may continue to contact you or sell the debt to a collection agency, which could then pursue payment. Now, imagine the credit card company sells your $1,000 debt to a collection agency. The agency contacts you, seeking payment. The collection account appears on your credit report, and you now owe the agency instead of the original creditor. The collection agency may offer to settle the debt for less than the full amount, but the collection record will remain for up to 7 years. Lenders see charge-offs as a sign that you failed to repay a debt, making you a higher risk for future loans or credit cards. Even if you pay off the charge-off, it can still make it harder to get approved for new credit. Some lenders may require you to pay off old charge-offs before approving your application. Collections are also viewed negatively by lenders. They indicate that you failed to pay a debt and that it had to be collected by a third party. Some lenders may not approve your application until all collections are paid, while others may overlook paid collections, especially with newer credit scoring models. The best way to avoid a charge-off is to make all your payments on time. If you're struggling, contact your creditor as soon as possible to discuss hardship programs or payment plans. Many creditors are willing to work with you if you communicate early and honestly. Taking action before your account becomes severely delinquent can prevent a charge-off and protect your credit. To avoid collections, stay on top of your bills and address any missed payments right away. If you fall behind, reach out to your creditor to set up a payment plan or request assistance. Ignoring the problem can lead to your debt being sent to collections, which is much harder to resolve and more damaging to your credit. You have rights when dealing with charge-offs. Creditors must follow the law when reporting charge-offs to credit bureaus, and you have the right to dispute any inaccurate information. You also have the right to request validation of the debt if you're unsure about the details. Understanding your rights can help you protect your credit and avoid unfair treatment. When dealing with collection agencies, you are protected by laws such as the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. This law limits how and when agencies can contact you and prohibits harassment or false statements. You have the right to request written verification of the debt and to dispute any errors. Knowing your rights can help you deal with collections more confidently. A charge-off is when a creditor writes off a debt as unlikely to be collected after several missed payments. It's an accounting action, not a cancellation of the debt. The debt remains owed, and the charge-off is reported to credit bureaus, negatively affecting your credit score for up to 7 years. Understanding this concept is key to managing your credit health. A collection occurs when a creditor transfers or sells your unpaid debt to a third-party agency. The agency then attempts to collect the debt from you, often using persistent methods. Collections are reported to credit bureaus and can remain on your report for up to 7 years, impacting your ability to get new credit. Knowing what a collection is helps you respond appropriately. To recap, a charge-off is when the original creditor writes off your debt as a loss, but you still owe them. A collection is when the debt is transferred to a third-party agency, which then tries to collect from you. Both are serious negative marks on your credit report, but they represent different stages in the debt process. Knowing the difference can help you take the right steps to resolve your debt. If you have a charge-off or collection on your credit report, don't panic. Start by reviewing your report, disputing any errors, and contacting the creditor or collection agency to discuss payment options. Taking action early can help you resolve the debt and begin rebuilding your credit. Remember, you have rights and resources available to help you through the process. Understanding the difference between charge-offs and collections is essential for managing your credit and financial future. Both can have long-lasting effects, but with knowledge and proactive steps, you can address these issues and work toward better credit health. Stay informed, take action when needed, and don't hesitate to seek help if you're struggling with debt. Thanks for watching, and remember your financial future is in your hands.